everyone, it's Nicole Lindell, registered dietitian at Health Through Nutrition. I'm super excited to talk to you guys today about cholesterol, given the fact that it is September and September is National Cholesterol Education Month. And so it's only suiting for me to touch on how we can help lower or improve our cholesterol through diet, through dietary supplements. It's really important to make sure we understand cholesterol in the sense that it doesn't always mean that we need to be on cholesterol medication. Of course, there is a time and place where medication is needed, but if you're on a medication and want to come off, or if you're talking to your provider and they're kind of on the border of starting you on cholesterol medication and you're looking to do some changes through diet, well, here's the video for you. According to the American Heart Association, almost 50% of our American population has elevated cholesterol. And so it's really important to talk about cholesterol because elevated cholesterol can lead to cardiovascular disease such as heart disease and other types of cardiovascular conditions. So what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a waxy, fat-like substance that is produced in our body by our liver. And when there's too much cholesterol in our body, it can lead to a buildup in our arteries and can affect the blood flow to our heart. We have different types of cholesterol. Some of you may have heard of the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. So our good cholesterol is our HDL cholesterol, and our bad cholesterol is called LDL cholesterol. So in terms of our diet, we want to try and increase our HDL and decrease our LDL. HDL cholesterol is the good cholesterol because it helps to prevent LDL cholesterol, that bad cholesterol, from building up in our arteries. LDL cholesterol is considered the bad cholesterol because this is the type of cholesterol that can build up in our arteries and lead to heart disease, chest pain, and other cardiovascular conditions. As a dietitian, I am always asked, are there specific foods I should be avoiding if I have elevated cholesterol? Great question. So when it comes to cholesterol, and what was once believed to be true is that dietary cholesterol, so the cholesterol that's found in our food, is influencing our blood cholesterol or our serum cholesterol. That is no longer known to be true. That's been debunked, thrown out the window. What we've learned through science throughout the years is that the types of foods that do influence our cholesterol and negatively impact our cholesterol are foods that are high in saturated fats and refined processed grains. And so our saturated fats are found in a lot of our fattier cuts of meats, so steak, bacon, sausage. It's also found in butter, it's found in ice cream, coconut oil. So lots of different foods in our typical American diet are high in saturated fat. And so if you're looking to improve your cholesterol through diet, one of my biggest key points is reduce the amount of red meat in your diet, right? Also reducing the amount of butter you use, maybe switching to something like olive oil when you're cooking. And then the other key component is those refined grains or processed grains, right? So these are our processed goods, right? Our white bread, our cookies and crackers and chips and cake and all of these delicious foods that are actually correlated with an increase in our cholesterol. And so it's not to say you can never have these foods ever again, right? That would be very sad. But we just want to make sure, and especially if we're really trying to avoid being on medication or if you're trying to get off of medication, and of course you always want to work with your healthcare provider on this, but one of the biggest things is reducing our processed goods and staying in the perimeter of our grocery store. That is the easiest way to make sure that we're limiting our saturated fats and our refined grains is by going and shopping throughout the perimeter of our grocery store because that's where all of our whole foods are, right? All of our produce, fruits, vegetables, and then you get into, of course, where the deli section is and where you can buy your meats. And so choosing leaner sources of meats like chicken or turkey, fish even is a really good option, pork loin, really great option. And so we want to try and steer away from more of those fattier cuts of meat, like our steak, like our bacon and sausage and things like that. So when we talk about what we should have to improve our cholesterol, we're focusing on our healthy forms of fat. So our unsaturated fats like olive oil, our walnuts are high in unsaturated fats. And also we want to look for more fruits and vegetables and make sure that we're choosing whole grains instead of refined grains. So our healthy fats include a lot of our nuts and seeds, olive oil, avocados, fish. And then of course we want to make sure we're increasing the amount of fruit and vegetables in our diet, as well as focusing on more of our whole grain options like whole grain bread, whole grain pasta, brown rice, quinoa, because these all are not refined and not processed. They have something called fiber in it, and fiber is super important in terms of managing and regulating our cholesterol. So focusing on our healthier sources of fats, there is a particular type of fat or fatty acid that we want to promote in our diet, omega-3 fatty acids. And so if you're a fish lover, you can absolutely get enough omega-3 through fish and through diet. Whether you have a lot of walnuts and other nuts and seeds in your diet, you can absolutely get it through diet alone. But if you're like me and you don't like seafood, then supplementation may be right for you. So of course, when we're looking for a supplement for omega-3 fatty acids, we want to make sure that they're of the adequate quality, making sure all the ingredients are sound and safe and have been tested by third-party testing sites. So omega-3 fatty acids are great because they have been shown to help increase our HDL cholesterol, our good cholesterol, and also reduce our triglycerides. So key takeaways here when it comes to cholesterol and dietary management, we want to make sure that we are increasing our whole grains, our lean sources of protein like chicken and turkey, fish. We want to make sure we're having an adequate amount of fruits and vegetables. And we also want to make sure we're avoiding things like saturated fat and our refined processed goods. And the last key here is omega-3 fatty acids, right? So this focuses on those healthy, unsaturated fats that we really want to make sure we're getting through our diet or through supplementation.